Guys, this is the Honest Outlaw here, and I just want to do a quick comparison video between two of the better 9mm guns that you can get on the market today for an overall gun. The first gun we're going to be comparing is going to be the Glock 19, which I consider to be pretty much the standard of overall 9mm polymer frame pistols of the last generation or so. And I'm going to compare that with what I consider to be the best out of the box pistol that you can buy today, and I want to explain some of the accessories and some of the features that you get on the 509 in comparison to something like a Glock. Before I do that, I want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you very much. You guys really keep the channel moving. I'm almost completely demonetized on this channel, so your donations really keep the channel moving, really help me buy guns and ammunition. I really appreciate that. I also want to mention ammo.com. They're a longtime supporter of the channel. I leave a link in the description below. If you want to click the link, you'll get $20 off any order of 200 bucks or more. So back to the review, I want to compare these two guns right here. This is the FN 509, one of the best guns to come out in 2019 so far. I want to compare the Glock 19. However, considering I don't have a stock Glock 19, it wouldn't be a very fair visual comparison. I can compare all the features that used to be on this gun, but you wouldn't be able to see them. So I also have a almost completely stock Glock 26 that I'm going to reference as well to give you a little bit better visual comparison of what exactly that I'm talking about here. So let's talk about the 509. The 509 is a polymer frame striker fired pistol chambered in 9mm. It holds 15 rounds and is 26 ounces. Very, very similar to the standard stock Glock, which is a polymer frame pistol that holds 15 rounds, 24 ounces. Both have a 4-inch barrel. See where I'm going with this. Very, very similar pistol. So why would you buy the 509 or why would you buy the Glock? Well, that's why you're watching this video today, so I'm going to explain a couple of those things. Now, some of the big advantages of the Glock is that it can be accessorized, it can be customized to your liking however you want. As you can see here on the table right here, this is a highly customized Glock 19, which I do use for carry quite a bit. So the benefits of the Glock, and not only can they be customized, but they're pretty much the standard in reliability and durability over the years. Not only that, magazines are very plentiful, and they have a very well-known track record, so a lot of people like to carry them. Another benefit of the Glock is it is extremely lightweight. That's another reason why a lot of people carry them. For the ammo capacity, it is a very small and light overall package. Now, since the Glock was kind of the gold standard of pistols, a lot of pistols have come up on the market today that are very, very similar, kind of doing their own version of the Glock 19, and the FN 509 is FN's version of the Glock 19, at least the mid-size. This is actually the smaller grip size as opposed to the standard 509, which has a little bit longer grip, kind of a Glock 19X version. So either one you want, you can get. Some of the benefits of the 509 over the Glock are going to be the features that you get from the factory, because your Glock isn't going to look like this from the factory. It's going to look similar to this. Even this Glock, I couldn't help myself. I had to do a trigger undercut job, a little thumb ramp here, and I had to add some sights. They're kind of Legos for adults, and you can get whatever part or you can accessorize whatever you want on the gun to make it what you like. And the advantage of the 509, as I said in the full review, is that you don't have to do those things. So right from the factory, some of the big advantages over the 509 that the Glock has are going to be the weight. It's about 2 ounces lighter, the Glock 19 is, than the 509, so that's an advantage. You also are going to have more accessories, and you are going to have more magazine availability. Also, you're probably going to be able to find a Glock a little bit easier than you are a 509, although FN is by no means a small company, so there's plenty of 509s out there. Now, some of the advantages you're going to get over the Glock with the 509 are, in my opinion, pretty plentiful. First off, you're going to have total ambidextrous controls. That's a big advantage for a lot of you lefties out there, and that's a big advantage for a lot of you guys who train out there. Because if you're going to train with a pistol, a lot of times, especially in a self-defense situation, you're going to be shooting one-handed a lot more than you would think that you would be. You're going to be carrying something, maybe a child, you're going to be pushing somebody, grappling with somebody, and in a lot of circumstances, at least from what I've seen, people have to use their left hand to shoot. So it is kind of nice to have ambidextrous controls, and it is really nice for that, 10% of you people out there who are left-handed. Not only does the 509 have ambidextrous controls, they are not an afterthought. They are standard right into the gun. They all work very well. As you can see, the slide release works equally as well on both sides of the pistol in comparison to something like a P10C. Magazine release also works very well on both sides of the pistol. Also, it is big and easy to hit, but you are not going to hit it by accident. This is one of my favorite magazine releases that I've seen in a pistol. Another advantage you're going to get from FN is it looks a little bit better. I think it looks like a higher quality pistol, which doesn't surprise me because FN makes very quality firearms to begin with. You're going to get front slide serrations right from the factory. You are going to get night sights right from the factory. You are going to get great texture right from the factory. As you see here, I have Talon grips on this particular one. This is the grip that you are going to get with the Glock. Now, it's not the worst grip in the world, but it's by no means the best. If it was, there wouldn't be so many stipple companies out there making money doing the grip jobs on Glocks. FN, you are not going to need to do that. It is a little bit more aggressive, so you can hold a little more positive and firm grip on the gun. However, it's not going to be too aggressive because if you have too aggressive of a grip, it's going to rub on your stomach while you're trying to carry, which is why I like that they went a little more aggressive on the front and back strap here, which is where a lot of your grip comes from in the first place, and they went a little less aggressive right here for the side that you're going to be carrying on, which is pretty nice in my opinion. This is a really well thought out grip. On both of them, you're going to get back straps. In my opinion, the FN is just a little bit more sleek, but it's not quite as effective. I actually do prefer the back strap on the Glock because you have a little bit bigger hands. You can change the trigger reach for your trigger finger, whereas the FN is more of just a palm swell. If you want the best grip inserts on the market, look at the HK VP9. The trigger underguard is going to be better on the FN than it is on the Glock. As you can see here, I've cut mine out pretty drastically. That's because Glock knuckle is a real thing. If you shoot Glocks a long time, you'll get this build up or you'll get your knuckle beat up a little bit. The FN, that is not going to happen. This is a very well engineered trigger guard, and you can choke up really high on the pistol and again get a really firm, aggressive grip on it and really maintain that during long strings of fire. Another advantage you're going to get on the FN is going to be a full Picatinny rail. Now, Glock comes with an accessory rail, which is alright, but a lot of weapon lights come with certain mounts, and like let's say a Surefire X300 will have a Glock mount, it'll have a different mount, and it'll have a Picatinny mount. Well, I like to have the Picatinny rail on my gun because I like to switch my lights off a lot of times from pistols to rifles and all that kind of things, and a lot of times I'll take a light that was meant for a rifle or meant for, let's say, the FN 509, and I'll slip it on the Glock and it'll fall off during shooting because I forgot that they had different mounting systems. Well, if you have an AR-15 and you have an FN, you can switch on and switch off your light without any trouble at all, and I really like that. I really like when people put a standard Picatinny rail. FN also has a superior takedown lever. It has the same takedown lever as the M&P, which I've said for a long time has the best takedown lever. The reason being is that you can have a lot of leverage on it if you want to. If the gun gets really dirty and messy, something I learned from the gauntlet tests, if you get a lot of sand and dirt in there and you have to break down your gun to clean it, Glock, you have a really hard time getting to these. If your fingers are cold and wet, you're never going to be able to get your gun apart, especially because sand and mud gets all up in this little crevice right here, and it makes the gun completely inoperable. Whereas with this, you could slap the takedown lever down, rip the gun off, spray some water in it really quick, throw the gun back together, and you can pretty much run it after that. Because polymer frame 9mm pistols like the Glock or the FN, they will run with a lot of stuff in the gun, but not in certain areas. So if you can spray it out really quick, a lot of times you can get the gun to function again, but if you can't get it apart, you can't spray it down. Glock just recently started coming out with the MOS versions, which do have a red dot mount, which is a big advantage over the 509. I'm pretty sure the 509 will have that. If not, they don't already. All FNs come standard with the front slide serrations. Not all Glocks do. Glocks just recently started coming out with the MOS versions that have that, and I think maybe they will in the future. The point is, you can get all the FNs that have that right now. And the biggest advantage, in my particular opinion, over the Glock that the FN 509 has is the trigger. Now, it's not the best trigger on the market, but it's certainly better than the Glock. I would say the best trigger on the market might be the HK VP9 or the PPQ. followed very closely by the CCP-10C, and then maybe the Canic, if my memory serves me. Obviously 1911 is going to be better, but we're going to be talking about polymer frame pistols here, and I think those are the best, but the FN's right in there with the Canic. It's a little bit heavier than the Canic, which I actually don't mind. I don't mind a heavy trigger as long as it's crisp and short, and the FN's trigger is very crisp and short. As you can see here, my phone went off there. As you can see here, my trigger finger, the reset is not very long, and a long reset makes for a longer time between shots, which makes the gun slower. So a trigger that is very good right from the factory is a big benefit, considering a trigger like this. One of the best triggers for Glocks is this is the tactical pontoon trigger. Even this is somewhere between $150 and $200. So that's just extra value to get the same thing that the FN already comes with for $550. So the Glock, same price, you get a lot more features with the FN. The downside is the done-up Glock will do the same thing that the FN does for 2 ounces less, and it will have the magazine capacity. So I think maybe if you want to customize your gun exactly the way you want it, and you want to have a slightly lighter gun that carries the same capacity, and you want to have the magazine compatibility as most other people carry guns, since Glock is the most popular gun, Glock might be the way to go. If you want a gun that will come out of the box ready to go and you don't want to do anything and you just want to carry it occasionally, and let's say you just want a gun for home defense, you want a gun for concealed carry, which is what most people want. You're not worried about hunting, you're not worried about anything like that. I think the FN 509 might be the best way to go for new shooters or people not looking to customize their gun. I really think this is the best gun that I've tried out of the box, and I'm surprised too, because I'm not traditionally a huge FN fan. I know I liked their stuff a lot in the past, but they've never stuck out to me and just had that wow factor that I think this gun did. I mean, the superior trigger, the superior controls, the superior sights, superior looks, superior texture. I mean, overall, it's a significantly better gun out of the box. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.